Okay, hello, hello, hello. Thanks everyone for being here. I was just sharing that I'm sipping on my Aloe Digest with sparkling water and pineal clear. Try it sometime, it's really good. So if you have your superfoods, grab it and enjoy. And I'm just so happy to see everyone's smiling faces. And this is a really short and grounding space. You can be on camera or off camera. Either way, we just want to focus on simple nourishment for real life, even when life is busy. And this isn't a training call or a sales call, it's a place to talk about what's actually happening in our bodies, especially when life gets full. So I want to name something up front. Many people are getting by doing what needs to be done, functioning, but not feeling fully alive. And just drop a three in the chat if you've ever felt that way, if you've ever been there. And I wanted to share just a quick little story here. So I grew up in a kind of wilderness that most people don't really have a reference point for anymore. This is my older sister in the glasses. I think you can see her. And that's me as a little kid. And you can see all of the snow. And this is us in the summertime, in a field of flowers. But it was cold. We were surrounded by mountains, real winter, and you had that physical aliveness. And one winter, the snow was so high that we would jump out of our second story window in order to get out because the snow was so big. And we built igloos and a whole tunnel system between the houses, between the neighbors, and we'd stop for hot cocoa and see each other and then keep going. And I can still feel that. It feels so alive. I can feel the electric chill in my lungs, the ice in the air shaping as I would exhale in my breath. And my body wasn't thinking, as we were running around in the wildness, it wasn't managing, it was alive. And that aliveness wasn't youth, it was biology. It was my body functioning in its natural state. And then years later, I dealt with chronic pain. Let me see if I can. I dealt with chronic pain. Here's at the height of chronic pain. So pain, stress, depletion, and that feeling of aliveness was not as palpable. And I see this everywhere, where people are not broken, but they're feeling a bit numb, going through the motions, checking the boxes, getting through the day. And it's not because they don't care, it's because their bodies are tired of bracing. And so the opposite of aliveness is not failure, it's numbness. So here is crux of pain. You can't really tell it, but I am actually just bracing there. I'm smiling, but I'm in intense pain. Here's 90 days after our transformation, and just consistency over years is the final one. Um, so before the body can receive, it has to feel safe enough to let go, to exhale. So before we inhale life, we have to exhale what's been holding us back, pain, inflammation, old stress, cellular memories, emotional stagnation, stiffness, tension. It can be anything, right? Grief. And so many bodies are holding protection like armor. And that armor makes so much sense. It keeps us going. It helps us to survive through hard things, right? But that armor doesn't just block pain, it also blocks pleasure and ease and nourishment as well. So when we stay braced, we don't get to feel fully or receive fully or feel that full aliveness. And the body does not open by force, it opens when it feels safe. And nature works in a similar way. So when the conditions are right, we have clean air, healthy soil, steady rhythms. life thrives. You can think of a blooming garden or ecosystem. And your body is also nature. So when it's supported at the cellular level, it softens. And when that armor comes off, the body can finally release what it's been holding so we can truly receive and truly live. So this is actually where the superfoods come in. I wanted to share a little bit of my backstory just to bring in this real life experience of what these superfoods have brought to me. So it covers our bases in a very balanced manner. And it's not just about adding more, it's about helping the body to feel safe enough to let go. And in that picture, after 90 days in, that was the first time I felt like myself in 15 years because my body just exhaled, my nervous system exhaled. And so I wanted to bring up our deeper support today, which is our Power Shake and Dark Berry, which is our steady nourishment without that heaviness, without that burden on the digestive system. And it supports that blood sugar and energy. And then we have our Super Amino 23, which is your cellular repair. And it's the raw materials that your body actually uses without any digestive strain. And then we have our biomedic, and that's clearing whatever blocks our absorption, supporting that gut lining so nourishment can really actually land in our bodies, again, creating that cellular safety. And we have our apothecary as part of our core four or deeper support. And that's soothing inflammation, supporting recovery, especially after stress or any high physical demand, physical or mental or emotional demand. And together, speaking of nature, they work like an ecosystem. So nothing forced, just each part supporting the whole in a beautiful, balanced way. And this is why that deeper support helps with our hormone balance, emotional regulation, digestion, sleep, clear focus, steady energy. And it's not by pushing the body, but it's by cooperating with it, bringing it back to nature. So I want to open it up to the community. This call is our community call. So if you have one thing you've noticed, this is where we get to share our wins and be witnessed, whether it's an energy, digestion, mood, recovery, sleep, cellular safety. What has shifted for you since supporting your body more intentionally? Camille.
Yeah, so I've been in a challenging season. My family and I are living in a moldy house that we're trying to get out of, and it's been, yeah, it's just been tough. But one thing that I've been really intentional about is making sure that I get at least 2 to 3 power shakes a day. And I do doctor them up. I add like some spirulina, and I'm taking 10 to 15 super aminos a day. And
Amazing.
yeah, if you've ever met somebody that's living in mold or is recovering from that, it's so hard on the body because it down regulates your cellular like strength and integrity. But these superfoods have just helped me still feel vibrant and alive, like you said. And I think when I decided to really like increase how much I was taking in, that really shifted the needle for me because I'm creating this environment where my cells have more oxygen and more um, access to proper nutrition, and then my gut, working on my gut to be able to absorb more efficiently. So it's really been a game changer. And when I first started, I was had a new little one too, and it just wow, made me I had so much more energy and just felt like a more present person. So I just love it. So thanks for sharing.
Aw, that's so
It's exciting.
beautiful.
Yeah.
What a wonderful reflection. Thank you, Camille, for sharing. And yeah, mold is a toughie, real toughie. We've had some friends who had some pretty severe mold, and the superfoods were a major, major game changer. So I'm glad that you're here. Yay. Anybody else want to just share from your heart a win or a story or something you've noticed? And it can be small, it can be mental, physical, emotional. Yeah, go for it, Karen.
Good evening. Good evening. I am just loving this program, and I knew I would. I truly knew I would, because I did test it out before I went full blown into it. Um, I kind of misunderstood something that Mary Beth had put out, and it was something about 7 days and the shakes. And I actually went ahead and did what I thought I heard her say, and that was to just have the shakes for 7 days. Everything else, the aminos and the bio and all of that, and just have that and no food. And oh, it was amazing. Really, I didn't. I still had energy without the food. Well, I
Yeah.
know I was getting food, but it was just in a different form. And oh, I'm so glad I did it. I just came off of it today. I've released like what 8 pounds. I've released 8 pounds. And today I said I'm just going to have when I eat, I'll just eat vegetables and fruit, and
Love
that's what I did. And I just feel so light. I really do. I feel light and really happy. So thank you guys for
it.
this program. It has truly changed my life. I can't see myself without it. I really can't see
Oh,
myself without it. Thank you so
I'm so
much.
happy you're here. You're glowing, Karen.
Thank you. I feel like I am. I don't know if I look like it, but I sure feel like it.
You always radiate and glow and are uplifting to spaces, but you are definitely glowing.
Thank you, love. Thank you. Thank you.
I love that. And that's such a beautiful point to touch on because these superfoods are so nutrient dense. You're getting everything that you need. And you can do that. You can do intermittent fasting where you're just doing the superfoods and you could add in, like you said, fresh fruit or veggies, but it gives your body a chance to do cellular repair. So that's when our cells, like clean up damaged cells, is when you do times like that, and just depending on where you're at and what season you're in, it can be super amazing. I've had spaces where that's been really amazing. So, yeah, if anyone has like old injuries or anything like that, that's a great place for the body to just focus on repair while getting the fuel that your body needs to repair, but not having to focus on digestion and all those things. So that's awesome. I'm really glad you did that experiment. Good job. How fun. Yay, Drea.
Hi, hello everyone. So grateful to be here. It was October 2021 when the world stood still, and I was still going to the health clinic as a nurse practitioner to take care of everyone else. I showed up bleeding, deprived, depleted, and desperate for restoration. And I was diagnosed with endometrial cancer, stage 2. I Shortly after that, a few months later, while waiting for radiation, the cancer returned after surgery. What I learned from that experience is that self-care is not selfish, it is necessary, it's self-respect. I learned that it is required to be holistic, it, spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And I learned that it's okay to receive help.
Mm.
I'm grateful that now I'm driven by, instead of fear, I'm grateful that I'm driven by faith and that I'm in the right space to get everything that I need for my self-care and to be replenished. Last Friday, I went for a follow-up oncologist appointment and I was given a 4-year mark of being cancer-free. So I just wanted to share though that during this year, when I started on Purium, just before starting Purium, I had a suspicious lesion that showed up in my lung, and so they decided to monitor that. I started the Purium around that time, just incidentally, like it wasn't for that purpose. And when they did the follow-up scan, the lesion was half its size. And I'm not saying it's Purium, but I'm just saying that I know that I'm on the journey that I need to be to replenish all of everything that I needed, and to get that self care, the resources I need to get that self care. Because when we show up ill, we're left alone without, and it's our responsibility to take care of our bodies and to get it back to where it needs to be. But we don't always have the right resources. So I feel very blessed that I'm in this space and in this community.
Mm.
Thank you.
Mm. Oh, Drea. Well, congratulations. And thank you so much for sharing your story and your journey and that hope of just, you're so right, right? Self-care is not selfish. That can be a hard lesson to learn. And faith over fear. I love all of your lessons that you were sharing and just being held in this container. And this is definitely something I prayed for years, not knowing how to put all the pieces together, what solutions, what to do. So I'm so grateful that you're here and that you're doing it and diving in and held in this container. And congrats on all of your amazing
You.
success
At
so
the t
far.
at the time, I was taking the super shake, the pineal clear, and the biomedic at that time when that change happened. But since then, I've added more products, of course.
Yay,
Yeah.
yay, congrats. Thanks for being here, Dre. I love it. That's powerful. Just round of applause, right? Everyone cheer each other on. This is amazing. Amazing. Oh, little one's awake. Yay. Yay. Awesome. Did anybody else want to share their hey, Nicole?
Hey, oh my goodness, so good. I'm feeling so in my heart, and it feels so good to know that like God gives us what we need, and honored to be in this space together. My story today isn't nearly as impactful, but it's a win. I'm calling it a win. So I had a very busy day. I've actually not been feeling that well. We came down with like sore throats and headaches in the house, and it's always a journey, right? When we go through those sinus things or any kind of illness, right? It just hits us. It hits us, and it's unexpected, and nobody wants to go through it or have the downtime. But anyway, we started feeling better today, and we went to a homeschooling event at our church this morning, and then we were invited to go to the water park today. So we're totally pushing it after not feeling well for so long, and all we had were shakes on us, and my kids did not once like ask for junk food along the way. And we were completely nourished and feel great. Like the day's winding down here. It's cold in Florida, and it's not supposed to be. So this hits us hard here too. And literally, I haven't even made dinner yet. So I'm gonna get off this call and go make dinner. But those shakes have kept I have two teenagers and a 7-year-old, again, like thriving all throughout the day. We left early this morning, and I didn't have to really pack much else other than Power Shake and Dark Berry,
Yay.
in our shaker bottles. So I
Oh my
just
gosh.
calling that a
Man,
win.
that's a big win, right? As opposed to the crash that could have happened. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. That's so important. Oh my gosh, I've had those moments too where it's just complete lifesaver, traveling and all of it, and just not having access to what I would normally eat. So, yay. Glad to hear that you guys have that support. Awesome, you guys. Well, I want to keep this call short and sweet and close out the space. But if there's anyone that's a guest here tonight, and if this level of support feels what your body has been quietly asking for, just connect with the person that invited you. And if anyone wants more clarity on where to start in your superfood journey, I have a short 60-second quiz. I'm going to put that in the chat right here. And that just gives you a starting place of because we're all coming from different times, different seasons, different needs. So to help you figure out the best way to support you in this season of life. So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you so much for sharing your voices. I look forward to these calls every single week just to connect and hear our stories and share our stories. Yeah, and we will see you guys next week. Thank you so much.